Hi everyone, I want to go over our syllabus. If this is not your exact syllabus, it is very similar to your syllabus. I want to start out by thanking you for joining the class. I know that most of you originally signed up for a full semester course, but I teach the second half of the semester, and the original instructor could not teach this class any longer. And so I could only pick it up if I did it just the first 7 weeks. So it's slightly different than what you planned if you were in the original section, but it'll still be a great class. So here is the syllabus. As you can see, my office hours are at the top. Prior to our class from 11 to 12 on Tuesdays, I'll be in my office for you. And I'm also going to have office hours 5 to 6 p.m. on Monday evenings. In WebEx, and here's the link to my WebEx meeting room. If you need to meet me any other time, feel free to just email me and we'll set up a time to meet. I'm pretty available. I don't mind meeting you in the evenings online, and I teach 12:30 to 3:45 usually on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so that may not be the best time to meet, but if you need to meet with me, just let me know so we can set up a time. My email account is here, and I also have my cell phone number for you to use in case of an emergency. So, for example, if you were in a car accident and you couldn't get to a computer to turn your assignment in, you could text me that, or you could say, please check your email, and then I'll try to get to my email. If you call my office number and I'm not there, leave a message because it turns into email, and I get that as soon as you leave it. You can read over some of this information yourself. Here is the copy of our textbook. If you are extremely interested in women's health, this is a book you should buy. It's very inexpensive. If it's not one of your major interests, then feel free just to use a free link. So this link will take you to the book, and in Blackboard there are a couple other links, one of which will actually read the book to you. Next, we have our objectives for our national standards, and then the course objectives, which you can read on your own. Course policies, we'll go over just a few. The first one here, you should see something like this in several of your classes, if not all of them, and that is that there's a policy for mask wearing to help everyone stay safe on campus. And so if you were to not wear your mask when you're supposed to wear one, and you're asked to do it and you refuse, for me, I will send you to student conduct. I'll send a report over. It's important that we all keep each other safe on campus. Attendance, I expect you to be here for every class. I don't give you points for coming. I expect you to be here. It's like a job. However, for face-to-face, I expect you to be in class. If we do an asynchronous, here's online information. If we do an asynchronous class, your attendance is taken by turning in your assignment on time. If we have a synchronous class, then you're expected to be in the classroom, the electronic classroom, and you should be participating. If by chance, and the way I can deal with that is often I require you to have your cameras on. If your camera is off, you need to email me and tell me why it's off. And if I call on you a couple times during the class and you do not respond, I mark you absent. Just because you have your computer on, if we're having a synchronous class, doesn't mean that you just disappear. Excused absences are explained. A medical note has to have this information on it. If by chance you give me a medical note and does not have all of this information on it, I will not accept it. You have 1 week from the date of absence of your return to get me this medical note. I ask for these specific items because of plagiarism and people forging medical notes. And that's been a very high rate of that going on campus. And so I've gotten very specific about what I want on your medical note. If you have a legal issue, this tells you what to do. For death, you send your information to Student Affairs and they inform all of your instructors. And for religious reasons, I don't ask for documentation unless I can't find information on it some other way. Those are the 4 excused absences. If by chance you have an absence that you would like me to consider to be excused, ask. Sometimes I will accept other reasons without going into detail, But we're all grown-ups. We all have obligations, and sometimes those obligations interfere with other responsibilities. If you need help and you're absent for an excused reason, then make an appointment to see me and I'll work with you. If you come to see me, I'm going to ask to see your notes, because taking notes on your part is very important and it helps you remember everything. But, I'm going to ask you specifically, well, tell me where in the class you got confused, or where in the reading did you get confused. And so you need to be able to tell me that. Due dates, all assignments are due as indicated. Your due time is 6 p.m. unless otherwise indicated. If 6 p.m. is hard for you, then turn it in the day before. No matter what time I choose, somebody has an issue with it. So for women's health, the time that you turn your work in is 6 p.m. Lateness, you lose 20% for each calendar day something is late. And so that explains that. I ask you to save your documents a certain way because they help you find them when you're looking for them. So if you do this, that's great. If you don't do it, you start to lose 10%, a minimum of 10% of the points, because this is really done to try to help you learn a way to save documents so they're easy to find. Participation, you can read. Conduct, make sure you're aware of the conduct policy. Electronic devices, put your phones on vibrate if something bad happens. It'd be good if all of our phones vibrated so we knew, but I really don't want them to ring during class. It's disruptive. I also expect you, if you're using your electronic device in class, it's for class and not for checking your email or doing social media. Attendance, I've already addressed. Academic integrity, please make sure you're very clear on what the policies are. The minimum penalty for me for academic dishonesty or lacking academic integrity is a 0 on the assignment. You may fail the class, and no matter what the infringement, you will be sent to academic affairs or student affairs for their review and further disciplinary action. So these are some examples of items that you might do. When I checked this last time, the link worked. If it doesn't work, just let me know. Okay, communication, you can read that. Here's how the class is broken down. On line 01, then we have discussion boards, we have reflections, you have your final project that you do individually, you have your final reflection taken during the exam time, and you have a current event presentation that is a group assignment. But I don't want you to stress over it because I have a very clear guideline on what to do to prevent people from just not doing their job. And when you do the group work, everybody, and we'll talk about that a little bit in class, but I don't want to go into too much detail. There's grading, description of assignments. You can read these on your own. There's more specific description inside Blackboard. Extra credit, I don't give extra credit to any one person. There's usually one extra credit assignment I provide for this class. Everyone has the opportunity to do it, but do not ask for special extra credit. That's not fair to everyone else in the class. Final projects, here's a brief description of the final project. Your final project in this class is not a written paper. I will not accept a written paper. Your project, you're going to choose a women's health issue, and these are the major women's health issues that have been identified by the federal government. However, if there's some other issue that you'd like me to consider, then you can choose that topic and present it to me, and I'll tell you whether or not I will accept it. The approval is based on national guidelines and availability of material. So you might have a topic that you really are interested in, but if there's not enough detail for you to do the project, or if the topic that you want affects such a small number of women, I might decline that. You'll be in groups, and no one in the group will have the same topic. So the sooner you submit that topic assignment, the better. No matter what the project is that you choose your topic, this is how it's scored, and then you're going to create some type of artifact. And here are some examples of things that you could do. You could write a letter to a politician. You could critique current advertisements depending on the topic, a letter to the editor. You can make a brochure. You can make a special presentation, or you can make a podcast. Those 3 items are starred because they have to be to a specific audience, and we can talk about that in a group, in class. A plan for action, we can talk about that if you're interested in it. And sometimes people have made web pages or media pages, social media. Or you could do advertisements or web or media advertisements. You could create a web page. Just about anything you want to do other than write a paper is an option here. So you will choose a topic, you will choose a format or genre, and you will choose a population. And we'll be working on that throughout the entire semester. All of the work you do in this class is helping you lead up into this point. Support services are there, and then here is the schedule. These dates will all be posted in Blackboard, and they will be appearing gradually in the next week, but it lets you see everything you need to do. The first unit has a lot of reading in it, but we'll talk about how to split up the reading in the Witch's Hammer and Sims medical notes, and then to help you get realistic in the amount of reading you do for the class. So look over everything. Everything again is due at 6 p.m. And then at the end of this, I have put in a calendar. My calendars all go Monday to Sunday because I like to see the weekend together, Saturday and Sunday. So you can see the whole semester in the calendar, and you can see it in this layout in the outline of what we're going to do. Again, I look forward to seeing you, and please review everything. If you have questions, let's talk about them the first day or 2 of class.